Is that better?
I don't know yet.
Is that better?
Yeah, 100%. My name is Trevor. How do you do?
He's a hot connection. How about you?
Our lead guests are off the chain.
These shout-outs will be insane.
Alex and Dee and also Crystal.
Fans lined up from here to Bristol.
Alex and Lauren and also Claudia.
Guests with beauty from Sabadia.
Oriana, Kate, and Brian too. Hotter than cyan.
Wait, ain't that blue?
My heart's so full. Yeah, it's fatal.
Season 4 so hot, we flipping tables.
Unleashing this hotness, I'm feeling grateful.
Let's get started.
Don't be shameful. The more cringe, the better. All right, let's connect together
And we feel all right.
all right. I'm so excited.
Tingly
I'm
all over.
I'm tingly.
Tingly.
I'm tingly. It's Hotness Unleasher.
What is wrong with us?
I don't know, man, but welcome to season 4, episode 4 of none other than the Hotness Unleasher Show, where I have Ken, Magma, Marshall in the house, and I got Alex Boyd and Jesus McDonald. I do want to find out about what the Magma is, because that's cool. I mean, I got a chicken at the end of my name, and I get asked about that. You got quotes, and that's cool. All right, and I got Elijah Drown here, who is producing for us, and I had a moment of panic because that happens occasionally. So I'm so thankful that Elijah is here, and I want to give a chance for the audience to kind of trickle in. They see our intro, which is kind of goofy. That this is a LinkedIn show.
An experience.
It's an experience,
Like no other.
right. And we want to just embrace the LinkedIn-isms. Okay, we want to talk about what it's like to hang out here and try to make a go of things, and what is it, are we really cringe? And if we are, then by golly, let's just go for it. Let's just be it. Let's just embrace that reality. We'll just cringe it up, right? So I got Alexis Wainwright in the house. I love that. Alexis, I have been seeing Alexis all over the place lately, and the feed has decided that we're BFFs. And Melissa Houston, all right, so she's coming in on YouTube. Now, the fun thing about Melissa and I is that we live in the same town. I can hardly believe it. There's a few Bellingham, Washington, where I'm in the very upper northwest corner of the United States. And Melissa Houston is here as well. So I've kind of actually lost contact with her for a minute. So I'm very happy to see that she is here. And so I'm going to say hello to her, as well as John Connolly. Love seeing that guy. Now, he is kind of all over the place. PMP dude, right? And he's in like doing some sales and all this. Okay, so we have an audience. Like, look, we're kind of actually getting there. All right. So what is the point of the Hotness Unleasher Show? For anybody who's crawling in here and has decided, like, what have I just wandered into? This show is about paying attention to other people or their work in an intentional way. When we do that, I say it unleashes hotness, right? It unleashes hotness for the people who are paying attention and the people who are receiving it. It took a long time to figure out that those who are going through the process of or who are expressing gratitude, actually, it kind of benefits us too, right? We're sort of equal joy recipients when this happens. So, hey, it's all good, and it's just not about like trying to grow our networks. There's not really a like sort of ulterior motive here. I'm just trying to be cool and have some fun and laugh a little bit, and I like to, it's super fun to push this medium, this live stream medium, because it doesn't get used enough, right? It's not super popular. It's not like, we're not going to get 10,000 people showing up here today, right? It's just a few, right? We're just going to be hanging out. So, but you never know. I mean, Alex Boyd is here, so there's that. Jesus, right? Ken, right? So yeah, so here we are, right? Here we are. So a bunch of guys just hanging out for a minute, and our theme tonight is to talk about the LinkedIn long game, because long games are kind of long, right? I mean, they're long, and there are days that it gets even longer. And you're like, or at least I am. So with that, I want to say welcome, you three, and Elijah, thank you again for all that you do to make this show happen, make it a reality. And so since I got Ken here up on my upper right, Ken, introduce yourself to me, to the group, and to our audience. Goyle, right? I don't know Goyle. Goyle is new in our audience. So, and Lisa Vivek. Lisa Vivek's gonna be on the show a little bit later. So lay it on us, man. What brings you out to LinkedIn? What are you cooking? What do you got going?
You got it, man. Thanks for having me on. And yeah, Elijah, thanks for showing up. That nap came in clutch. Yeah, Ken Marshall.
To the wire.
I was one of the managing partners in our CGO at Revenues In, but we went through an acquisition last year, so I'm sure we'll get into that. But very simply, I've always been an entrepreneur. I've always sold things. I've always wanted to build new things. And while I'm doing it, build people. So professionally, primarily just been figuring out how to help people generate revenue from organic search now with AI and all of its fancy bells and whistles. But it's been the same thing. How do we take people who are in market looking for what you offer, get them to reach out to you and give you lots of money? And then outside of that, I grew up in the Pacific Northwest, so camping, hiking, lifting. Shout out to Jesus. I haven't deadlifted in a while, but I'm very familiar. And yeah, man, anything you can think of, way to make probably.
Okay, right on. All right. Well, I can think of lots of ways to not make money because I've tried a few. I have fancied myself an entrepreneur, but right now I've been a W-2 employee for Infuse. We are a demand generation services company, and just got back from our SKO last week in Orlando. So that's been my world for quite a long time. And but I have an entrepreneurial background, right? Have run companies and have seen them just kind of right, go off cliff. So
yeah, I think we'll get into that. I mean, honestly, I think we'll get into like what's sustainable about it. But the cool thing about me is I never needed status or to make any money to want to sell things. And that's why it's sustainable. I'm in it for the game, even though, we have a good life now, but I've always been in it for the game.
Yeah, I love it. So tell me, like, what's Revenues In about? So it's SEO, right? So / now GEO, right? I mean, that's kind of the new thing, right? So have you moved that in that direction, or is that what you're being asked to do, or like, are you overseeing the company, or are you in the weeds, or like, what's your role now?
Yeah, I mean, shout out to our fearless leader, Rocky, the CEO. But Revenues In's been focused on organic. So just think about everything inbound. Just helping B2B SaaS and professional service companies generate more qualified pipelines. So LinkedIn content strategy on the website, SEO, and now content distribution. All the above work together, and you need all of the above to work together in order for those opportunities to actually close and give you lots of money over time. So we're cooking up lots of things, man. And, anybody, if you're interested in a free generative engine optimization workshop, holler at your boy. But my job is to tinker and know what's going to happen in the future and build solutions and train our team to make sure our clients are successful in that future.
I saw we got a lead today from ChatGPT again, like most days it seems like. Yeah, one of many leads from ChatGPT. So,
and so I'm going to go.
I haven't had one of those yet.
How that happened, and then double down on it, and then fail a bunch, drink some wine, and do it all over again the next day.
Okay, right on. So now you said that you were in the Pacific Northwest. Are you still in the Pacific Northwest, or are you somewhere else?
We moved from Portland, Oregon to New York. My wife lasted about a year in Brooklyn. I loved it. I got a chopped cheese and a bagel every day. And then we sold out and moved down to sunny San Luis Obispo in California. And now I've got some property and some lemons and limes and avocados and, life's good.
Nice.
Really good dog. Really amazing dog you have down there too.
Yes. And an Australian Shepherd who's just the best.
Okay, so my in-laws right now, they like to go to Pismo Beach, which is right there, and so they're actually there. So there's a hotel or a motel or some place that's right there on the cliff, I guess. They haven't invited me to go, but what am I going to say? Yeah, but so they stay there and they rent the hotel room for a month, right? And apparently, when you're in your late 70s, you can do these things, and the reason they do for a month is then they don't have to pay any taxes. So because it's like a long-term rental kind of deal. So they're down there and they loaning us their car, which is kind of handy. So we get to borrow their car and that's all good. So I kind of know the zone a little. At least I know of the zone. My in-laws are down there at Pismo Beach. You could if you get over there. It's not too far, I don't think, but it's
a great beach.
We go there all the time, dude. Avila, Ismo. You come down anytime. We'll show you around.
Well, now I got all kinds of reasons to get down there. Okay, so Ken, Revenue's End, doing the fun experimental stuff, free to fail, get up the next day, drink some wine, and get after it again. Love it. Great story. Okay, all right, Alex, you are next. Amigo, what are you cooking? What story do you want to tell us tonight?
My man. Yeah, Ken and I are co-founders of Revenue's End. Now we're both shareholders, advisors, but Ken founded an agency. I founded an agency. We joined forces. I think it was 2021. So it's been years. And then we also each have other things going on too. So I would say at this point, I'm like a hard to classify entrepreneur. I co-own Aware, which is a LinkedIn engagement tool SaaS company. I still co-own Revenue's End with my partners with Onfolio. I invest in other companies too. So I invested in B2B services companies. I'm doing a lot of stuff. I'm slowly building this vision of like, what is like a more modern Berkshire looking like, and kind of slowly tracking toward what that might take shape as. So we'll see. I'm also a LinkedIn, I guess, aficionado of the long game. Like 8 years in or something like that to LinkedIn. So I've been doing that for a bit too. Also still in Portland. I didn't move. I didn't sell out yet. Miss Ken dearly. We used to live in he used to live in the apartment above me.
Oh, nice.
Which was really nice. So we could just go take walks.
Room trick? Like, Ken, stop it. No more.
Well, he would throw a shoe just up the room.
Did that work?
Like hook it over the balcony and try to hit Simba. No, Simba's such a good boy. I miss that dog. As you can see,
at the office. Those were the days where magic happened. Me and Alex, nobody else came into the office. We're just jamming.
Box of wine,
Nice.
shoes, and hang out with your dogs. Like, what could be better? It's awesome.
Yeah, it's talking strategy, talking vision, getting shit done. They finally removed our logo from the office that we got rid of 3 years ago, like last month. So we got 3 extra years of free brand awareness from all of the people walking by who have no idea what B2B is or stands for on Mississippi Ave in North Portland. Yeah, or care. Even if they knew, they were whatever.
Is that a food truck? I don't know.
Yeah, beer to
bagel
beer.
to
What are you
bagel?
talking about?
Sure.
Yeah, bagel to
Beer
bagel.
to beer. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, pretty much.
Nice. Okay, so I somehow, all right, so I've got you like in my brain, and that's humble apologies, Alex. I've got you like branded to Aware.
Great.
Like I have not expanded your brand beyond that. So to hear
That's
like
a good one.
Like you have got your fingers and all these other pies. It's awesome. So now I'm not gonna when I send you a DM on LinkedIn, because I pretty much just live here. I'll try not to freak out when it takes you better part of a few days to get back. I get it now. I get it. So thank you for explaining that.
It's busy DMing me. I'm sorry.
What can I say? I understand now. Appreciate that. Okay, so you're still invested in Revenue's End. You're running Aware. You got a bunch of other stuff that you're cooking. You're investing in other things. Pretty much just and you and Ken both have the guitar, in the background. So that's now. Do you each of you play the guitar, or do you just like to look at it?
I know like 2 chords on this ukulele, and that's it. It's purely for show.
Okay, I can't tell that that's a ukulele from my like
yeah,
my. Now that you say it's a ukulele, I can see it. But it just like the video distortion is a little bit off. So
pixelation.
Yeah. Well, or my vision. I wear these glasses. They're not perfect. So, what are we gonna do? All right. So, thank you for that. Now, I did want to do a quick shout out for Aware because and to you, Alex, and I did warn you that I was gonna say this, but. At one time I was your customer, okay, and I bought the product and I was looking for it to do a certain thing and it didn't do the thing that I needed it to do, and that's on me, and I gotta say, man, and I needed to cancel, and you were awesome about it, all right. So and I have been mistreated so many times in SaaS, I can't even tell you, it's so awful, there's so much predatory renewal action going on, and like, oh, we sent you an email. And I'm like, dude, I didn't see it. I get 50 jillion emails, and I missed it. And then, oh, that's on you. It's your fault. You contractually obligated to pay us for another year. You know, and you know, I've posted about how bad GoDaddy was. Okay, so they're being canceled as kind of on a sequential basis. I'm moving over to Pork Bun.
There we go.
My,
oh wow! I got a Pork Bun account.
As my new domain register, because I like to collect domains because I have lots of ideas and I buy stuff, and you know I kind of bum around a little bit, so never know what I'm gonna do. Usually nothing, but it's okay. Anyway, I don't like GoDaddy charging me for all kinds of craziness.
Same, Trevor.
Yeah, and that's you know what one of the reasons why I use StreamYard.
Why?
Well, because Restream tried to pull that hot sauce on me, yeah, and it took a fight to actually get out of it because I was within like minutes of the renewal having gone through, and I'm like, wait, no, you signed.
Rough.
But yeah, I got him to reverse it, but I didn't want to deal with that action. So anyway, so to you, sir, and all the companies that you're advising, and all the like, please just continue to bring that authenticity of like what does it actually mean to be a human? Does it mean that we like sign our lives away and we're just counting on us to forget? Like that's the business model. Like I signed up for it once, I used it for 6 months, I decided I didn't want it. Well, I'm already in for a year, and I forgot about it. Now I'm in for 2 or 5 or however many it is, because now I don't even have the login email anymore or something. Ay. Anyway, so thank you for that. Hats off.
I'm so happy.
Yeah, so can't say enough. All right.
Get off my lawn.
Yeah, good. Yeah. So, all right. So I want to say hello to a few more folks in the house. We got Mark Ramsey. I noticed has popped in here. We got Felipe Cofino. All right. We got Srinatha Reddy. We got, let's see who else we got. All right. That's it. All right. So anybody else who's in the audience? Okay. So we've been cooking for a minute. All right. Now we're going to move into a couple rounds of Hotness Unleashers where each of these guys, Jesus, I'm going to get to you in a minute, are going to talk about people. Right, we're talking about them behind their back, right? So this is the thing that you want, right? You want to be talked about in a good way when you're not in the room, right? And so that's what we're going to do. And we're going to talk about people who are inspiring us. And so your job, audience, whoever's still with us, when we get there, is to tag them, right? Tag them. Say, hey, congratulations to whoever it is that gets announced. And we're going to get that. Because hopefully what happens is the little LinkedIn thing, right? They're going to get notifications that they've been tagged, right, from you and you, right? And that's fun, right? You get that, like, why did I get tagged? Then they come and they see the show, and then they see that they got talked about. It's all good, right? So that's your job, audience, and I want to see it. Now keep leaving comments, heckle us, say my flames are dumb, I need to get new ones, or whatever, or is that really a ukulele, or do they really play guitar? Can you, come on, like.
Somebody asked, is my hair a weave one time? That was a great question. I'd love more like that.
Weird. Okay. Somebody asked the same about Trevor last week. So weird.
I don't have any hair. I got what pokes out here on the sides. That's it.
Ken's got all really the hair.
That's all
probably
the hair
a wig. It's not a weave. Sorry, Trevor. Didn't mean to call you out publicly on that.
Well, I got the hat. It's actually permanently welded to my head.
Stitched onto your head.
Yeah. It's like,
super glue. Yeah.
It's like what was that? Matilda, right? You guys see Matilda where the hat, it's glued to his head. Yeah. So speaking of that, we're going to use that as our segue to Jesus, right? So Jesus, I told you, man, that I've got 4 kids.
Yes.
Mine are older than yours. Okay. Just a little. All right. So, and I feel the love and the pain, and I miss it. All right. So you said yours were kind of young on the younger end of the spectrum.
Right.
And, I'm on my way home from Orlando on whenever it was, Friday, and I fall asleep, and I wake up and I look over, and there's this grandpa, and he's holding this little baby, and the baby's like 1. And it just literally melted me. I was just melted because, I've raised 4 kids and I haven't had a baby in my life for, 17 years. So, I'm kind of I miss them. Right, they're great, right? And and so to have to interact with a little baby like that was a real treat. So with that, I know it's physically demanding, particularly because you disclosed on LinkedIn that you've been dealing with some feed issues.
Mhm.
That's kind of a drag, and you got these little kids, and they're like, "Oh, Dad, come on, come on, man, we got to go play." All right. So sorry. So the floor is yours. Jesus, tell us a little bit about what you got cooking. What's important to you right now, and what are you working on?
Yeah. So father, 2 kids. I have my son, Dustin, who's 6 years old. He's really into Brazilian jiu-jitsu right now, which is awesome. He did CrossFit too during the summer. He's into soccer right now and basketball. So he's experimenting. He's doing it all. And then 2-year-old daughter named Taylor. And this is great because I can always look back at this and be like, wow, I remember when they were that age. And I was talking about this on the podcast with Trevor.
Yeah.
And yes, they do keep me busy. Luckily, we do have an au pair that does support us 45 hours a week, which has been awesome. She has been amazing. Drop-offs, everything. So I highly recommend it for anyone thinking about it and has more than one kid. So I think for me, a little backstory, I've always been a corporate marketer. For me, a B2B marketer. I've been doing it for years. I became a marketing manager for this financial institution that later here in Silicon Valley, I'm in Sunnyvale, California, and that eventually got bought out by a local community bank. And from there, I was like, I don't know if I want to work for a bank. Compliance, federal regulations, things like that. You almost have to get approval from compliance on anything at the time for tweets or anything. Probably that's still the same thing. So part of me was like, I don't want to work for a bank. I want to go do something else. I have friends that were doing websites already on their own. And they're like, you should just jump ship and come join us to do it. So for me, I started doing kind of like a part-time entrepreneur, doing it on the side until, and I just recently told this story to another marketer where that's trying to do the same thing. And I eventually had a few clients where it reached my salary, and then I had to put in my 2 weeks or else it was going to hurt my clients because they didn't have my time. So that's what ended up happening. It was extremely stressful, and I had a lot of insecurities and fears around it because I reported directly to the CEO of the company. He was more like a big brother. So we had a lot of good we just had a really good relationship, and we had a lot of time outside the office too, lunches together, all of that. But he was fully supportive. All of that everything didn't come true that what I was fearful about. What I got cooking with my agency. So just to make that bridge connect right there, I ended up taking that leap of faith, starting my own website company. We do website design and development for B2B companies. And I've been doing it since 2014. So what's that, about 11 years now?
Damn.
And it's been great. Recently pivoted. We started as a WordPress website development company and recently pivoted. And thanks to advice and shifts in the market and talking to industry partners, Alex, giving me advice too, not limiting myself to just one platform, CMS platform, but really trying to understand more like a website consultant. What are the customer's needs and what are the goals for the customer and budget and all that? And then let's talk about the best platform to meet those needs and goals compared to just WordPress only solution. So that's been big news. Everyone that knows me on LinkedIn or like, you're the WordPress website guy.
Yeah.
This is huge news, So we're doing WordPress, Webflow, whatever platform. At the end of the day, it's figuring out what the customer really needs. And the other thing too is we're incorporating other services. So we're doing website copy now. So I brought on additional services. We do conversion copywriting. We do graphic design, along with website design development services. The other thing too that we have going on is a small business plan. I've noticed over the years, we've declined a lot of them because they weren't good fits, but I was thinking about, hey, we can do like a lightweight, stripped down, plan for these. small businesses. So that's something exciting that we're cooking up, and I haven't announced it yet on LinkedIn, but it's definitely coming.
What sort of small businesses, like local types or just small, like fledgling startup types?
It could be any type. It could even be an attorney. It can be like someone that's super small, that they need, help with their website.
Right on, right on. When I was with, so before Infuse, I used to sell to personal injury lawyers. I love those guys. They are a fantastic market.
I was going to say tough space. I've done some work for a few too. I mean, that is a tough, but you like it.
I did like it. I liked it because they now this is me as kind of a crass media guy, right? So, and not me as my loving Zen self, right? This is just crass media guy. They had budget. They were decisive. They knew what they wanted, right? They were competitive, and they wanted to beat each other, right? And so as a media rep, you could use that to get them to sign up. You could use FOMO, right? Like if you had exclusive territories and things like this. Those, and the reason they run all those banners, and there's a lot of overlap in PI law to some of this B2B stuff. The reason they put those billboards on the side of the freeway is because it's illegal to cold call. All right, that is called ambulance chasing, barratry. You can lose your license you can be disbarred for that. Now some of them do it anyway, but that's why you see billboards, because they're looking for any angle that they can get. They have money. These guys are going to make $350,000 per on $1 million case. It's going to come in as one big fat check, and at the end of the year, they're going to want to spend it, right? Because they don't want to pay all the taxes, right? They want to try to get all their expenses done. So they're going to want to. It's a great market, and
you know what, Trevor, too, with when I started in 2014. Everyone has the experience when they start out. There's like, all right, we do services for anyone, and we'll take any price. We'll do all that, which I kind of wish I learned early on, not from learning it the hard way. But our first client was an attorney, or is an attorney, and she's still with us.
Well,
there we go.
And the reason why is because she's also a service provider, and she gets it, and she understands billing for your time, and she understands services. Yeah. She does the same thing with her clients, so they're great.
Yeah, I mean, it's anyway. So my son now here's where I'm going to probably want to cozy up to you a little bit here, Jesus. Is my son wants to start his own web dev shop, nice. And his chosen market is painters. Oh, and you could say, well, why painters? Well, the reason he wants to do painters is because he works for Sherwin-Williams as a part-time basis, and
big painting company. Yeah,
they're a big painting company, and these painters, they come in, and they're kind of jokers, right? They're not designing websites, They're not. Yet the market still wants immediate response. They want quotes, they want prices, they want proof, they want reviews, they want booking, they want to make sure they show up on all the stuff, right? All the digital stuff. So just because the painter isn't there. And so, we're talking about that. We're talking about like, how do you do that? So that's where he's going to start. So he built his first little promo, freebie today. He shot it by me. I'm like, dude, this is great.
Wow.
And he's
that's awesome.
He's working on it. So
if he ever wants to talk, feel free to send him my way.
I'm sure he will. So thank you for sharing that. All right, guys, it's 5:30. So let's do our first round of Hotness Unleashers, and then we'll go into LinkedIn long game, and then we'll do our second round, and then we'll probably be done. All right. So with that, Elijah.
Should we just roll the ball around? Should we just pick somebody willy-nilly?
Decide.
This is a lot of pressure.
I'm going to put you in charge.
Holy smokes.
You decide who's up first.
Okay, fine. Okay, fine. Okay. Shalom, Luke. Alex says he's such a character on LinkedIn, straight up influencer, and he uses Aware to power his LinkedIn agency business across his whole client base. Ooh, that's so hot. What else do you got to tell us about Luke, Alex?
Luke's a badass. He tries 120% hard at everything he does. And I love that he just took up video gaming in the evening to relax and be a human and not do LinkedIn stuff, which I think is the most adorable anecdote about him.
So have you like hung out with him? Do you know him like personally in real life, or I mean like what's like? Give me a little bit more to chew on here.
Oh, we've been on WhatsApp and LinkedIn DMs the last 2 years going over
Nice.
building his business. I invested in the business and revenues and did too a few months back. And yeah, we've still been meeting to like pick a time and place to actually get together. But we haven't yet. So we're pumped to make that happen. But he's between London and Medellin, Colombia. I'm in Portland. So it's not exactly like down the street.
Yeah. No.
So making it happen.
Medellin, Colombia. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
And London. All right, that's an interesting combination. That's almost as good as my pal Nadine Hare, who works in Mexico City, but it's from somewhere outside of London too, or somewhere in England. I'm not quite sure. So
Yeah.
If you don't know her, she's totally awesome. So awesome. Okay, so Luke, shalom, man, welcome to the Hotness Unleasher community. Alex, thank you for bringing him in. I did see a question from Peter Wheeler directed specifically to you. So let's just take a moment. Why is it so awesome? Why do you move on the roadmap so quick? How do you get that done? That's actually a hell of a question, Peter. Thank you for posing it. Alex, can you give us 30 seconds on boom, boom?
Because there's so few of us.
You
know, like our competitors have like 20, 30 person teams just gunking up the works. We got 2. It's just me and Mac, just us chickens. And that's why it moves so fast, because we don't have all the I mean,
you don't have to get approval to tweet?
Huh?
No approvals to tweet?
No approvals to tweet, no compliance. I'm very familiar with compliance. It's the most annoying thing in the world. But yeah, we're both in the weeds. We're not like overseeing teams of people getting things done. We just do the work of 4 people each, and it's fast as hell.
Nice.
Because we hot.
Well, there you go. So you got the skills. So you're actually doing you're in the daily. You're in the daily code crinkly stuff, right?
Code crinklies. I'm doing customer service, LinkedIn content creation, creating the emails, the chats, the GitHub tickets, the wikes.
You got it. So do you get any sleep? I mean, is that part of your life? Or?
Oh, I don't actually work that much. We just do it really fast.
Okay.
Okay. I'd say I'm like sub 40 hours a week with powerlifting. I just can't, because it goes to like, I'll probably be in the gym in total, including pre and post, from like 8 to 10, 15 a.m., 2 days a week. So like it just cuts into the 40 hours. Like you gotta subtract that plus going into lunch, and the coffee shop that I like to go to work closes at 4. So that's a weird little break in there. Sometimes I just stop at 4.
Okay.
But yeah, I actually sleep 9 hours a night.
Okay. Well, good on you.
Sure you not.
I don't get quite that much, but I'm old now. My body just says, nah, man, you don't need to sleep anymore. You're
soaking
good.
it in. Yeah. Well, I can.
Yeah. Just feel the warmth of that warm bed. I'm envious, but not in a weird way. So
where are you going with this, Trevor?
Nowhere. I'm trying to segue.
9 hours of wet dreams? Is that where you're going?
No.
I don't know what's happening.
I just wish I got more sleep. Is what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to segue. I want to say 2 things. One is that Elijah used to be in banking, right? So is this you were
sleeping in bed?
You said you were in banking, right? So I want to make sure that connection's made. Yeah. And Elijah left the banking world.
Well, I didn't have a choice, but here we are.
Well, yes. Okay, but you're not there
anymore.
Be
making all these connections on the back end.
You didn't try to go back.
I worked at an IQ credit union for 1.5 years, if that counts.
I worked at a brokerage firm.
Okay.
So we're all mathing-ish.
We're all mathing-ish.
That's nice.
Yeah.
And you are obsessed with the attorneys, Trevor.
I am.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Apparently.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
Nice.
And there was another segue I was going to make, but now I can't remember. All right.
I segued for you.
No, I know what it is. I'm coming down to Portland. I'm going to be in Portland April 17th.
Oh, cool.
So I'm going to try to find you, Alex. So just beware.
Sweet. I might be in Costa Rica, but I would love to do that.
If you're in town, I'll track you down.
Maybe you guys could play some video games.
There you go.
Nice.
Yeah, some video
Yeah.
games. We could maybe do a little powerlifting or something like that. That'd be good. All right. So Elijah, we have an agenda we got to stick to. Okay, so hit us up. Next one.
Wants to bring a little shout out to his wife, because if you're married, LinkedIn is the place to shout out your wife, right? Because people matter. She's an outsourced accounting solution for nonprofits, professionals, and everybody in between. CPA are underrated because tax time isn't fun for them, so give them a little love, would you? Focus on what they love to do so you can do business things and not math. That's nice. Jesus, what else do you got about Carolyn? We need to know.
Don't mess this up, Jesus.
Yeah, man.
You gotta be
No pressure.
He expects perfection while I tag
right.
her. Okay?
That's right.
Good luck.
That's right.
No.
That's right.
She is, yes, my wife. She is great. I call her my chief executive advisor. She's also director of finance for my agency, JRM Web Marketing. But man, she's awesome. Wife, mom, just seeing her even doing CrossFit 3 days a week, waking up at 5:30, getting to the gym at 6. How much she's supportive with the company, also just in our marriage as well, and just being able to talk through. I love how much her strengths are so opposite of mine. Like she's way more compassionate, nurturing, very loyal. And she really does have this deep consideration, deep curiosity that I feel like, okay. And I just love where I'm able to, whether it's something that comes up from work or a client situation or something with the sales team, we're able to talk through it and able to see a different perspective on it. So it's been great. I enjoy our marriage time that we have every night, that we make time for ourselves so we can connect about anything on our hearts, on our minds. So she's been more than just a great partner. She's been just great seeing her thrive in all these other areas, taking care of herself as a working mom.
Love it. Love it. I think this is the first time in like over like 300 shout outs that we've actually had a spouse be shouted out. I love it. So we're breaking new ground. So how long have you guys been married? Like what's your, like, how long have you been together?
We got married in 2015.
Okay. All right. So 10 years.
10 years. 10 years. 11 years with the agency.
Okay.
There's something there about long-term commitment right there.
How do
There you
you,
go.
right
what
man
is
for
the
the show.
what is the agency reference to marriage? Do you have to, are you contracted, like as in full-time getting to work? Is there a temporary, is there a, what is that called? The phase where it's not permanent, it's temporary, it's the trial period before you can get the benefits? Is that what that happens? Or is there another thing that I'm missing here? Jesus.
With my wife, you're saying?
You said that you guys were a 1-year agency and then 10 years married, and I'm trying to wrap my head around what that means. If there's
Yeah.
some
So
sort of
sorry.
special analogy. to perfection,
I
don't
was
know.
just saying I've been running the agency for 11 years and then married. Her and I have been married for 10 years.
Well done.
The thing is, I think we were newlyweds when I started it. We're just dating when I started the agency.
That's risky because, entrepreneurism, and when you're starting out, cash strapped, all that fun stuff, you're getting the funding and you're trying to figure out the marriage and you're still happy. Like you've solved
At the
all
time, it
problems.
wasn't that
years.
risky. Looking back, it wasn't that risky because I was just single and not married, no kids. So for me, I was like, this is the time.
You're gonna make it
Perfect.
happen. I love it. It's a great story. Now I bonded with Alex, because he shared and he didn't know this, but he shared a story about his wife as well, and it was something about I can't remember. It was recent though. It was about being married to different women, even though it was the same one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was a good story, and because I've been married to my wife for 32 years. And so we're oldie weds, right? We've raised kids and we've been around the block a couple times. So, but I like to say that I've been married to like at least half a dozen different women, because women, like my wife has changed. She's not the same woman that I married, and hello, get used to it, right? That's just what we sign up for. So there's all this stuff about we grew apart. Yeah, no shit.
Yeah.
right? So what? Stay together, right? That's, you make this commitment, and the people are going to change. We embrace that evolution, and we go together, and we try to, and we commit to creating a life, and and all the good stuff. So I'm extremely passionate about that. So, Jesus, I love that you brought her in here, man. I love it, and she's welcome here too. And if she ever wants to be a guest on the show, she could shout you out back. We're all good. That'll be terrific. All right, so Carolyn, welcome to the Hotness Unleasher community. You are you're now part of this motley crew. So, all right, Elijah, the next one, let's roll.
I never knew about Kalamazoo until I met Kevin. He's the best marketer in the world, according to the Growth Memo. That's his newsletter, just so you know. Kalamazoo is a great place because you learn about partners that are into hypergrowth with Kevin. It's nice. Marketplaces, Reddit, Snap, Nextdoor, like these are brands that only dream of working with. High-stake projects, deeply understand your competitive landscape, and then he evaluates new technologies because he doesn't sit still. This is a master of the SEO, emerging markets into different platforms, social medias, podcasts. This is the catch-all of all things in Kalamazoo.
How do you come up with this stuff, dude?
I just kind of look at the profile and roll, and then sometimes it's just BS, and sometimes it's just me.
Sometimes you just gotta poke it a little bit,
It's left field, as the critics say. I don't know where it comes from. It just happens. I don't know.
I'll match your energy then. So, Kevin Indig, if you don't know, you're not a real one. If you're not waking up like me every single morning, opening your phone and going to Growth Memo in your inbox, then you're probably not doing a good job. But I consider myself like a mad scientist, but Kevin is like the professor in my mind. He's like the tenured Ivy League professor, breaking ground, being a little silly, but they can't fire him, so he gets away with it. Like, he's got the funding and he knows it. We've never met in person. I hope to change that someday. Kevin, you already know this. I'd love to work with you someday. But most importantly, a lot of the experiments that I deploy for our company, the kernel of those come from that man and his newsletters. So there's a lot of cool things that I want to do with my career. I'm still young, but that man has influenced a lot of how I think. And he always leads with empirical, objective measurement. And so there's some people that like to be mouthpieces on LinkedIn that are, talking about large language models who have never written a line of code in their entire lives. This man, not only practices what he preaches, but he does it with style. So yeah, shout out to Kevin Indig. Shout out to Growth Memo. The man is a legend.
Love it. Thank you, man. I'm going to go and subscribe to it, because why not? Right. Yeah. Okay.
Don't wait.
Listen. All right, I'll do it as soon as we're done, because it's very difficult for me to multitask, but I will do it, I promise. Okay, so Kevin Indig, welcome to the Hotness Unleasher community. May you and Ken get to know each other at some point in real life, because that's awesome. I want to say also welcome to Dr. Jim, who just showed up in the house. Love it.
I'm not sure who Dr. Jim is talking to, but he says you sound crispy. So to the collective you, well done.
To the collective you, well done, right? Yeah. So we're all rocking top end, high end, super duper equipment. Yeah. So Dr. Jim, I love it. He's got these three boys who are they're awesome. He refers to them occasionally, and they're great. So welcome to the show tonight, Dr. Jim. And I should say too that 3 years ago or whenever I started this show, he was an inspiration to me to get off my butt and actually do something a little bit out of my comfort zone. And
cool,
because he was running his own show and totally pro and doing some really great stuff. So hat tip to Dr. Jim. All right, so I think we got through our first three. All right, but this is gonna have to be quick because we're gonna be out of time. So like I told you guys, it was gonna go fast. All right, so Alex,
man,
just lay on it. Like, what is your, like, okay, how do you approach LinkedIn so that you don't burn out?
As somebody who has published a LinkedIn course,
Okay,
you should probably not take 3 LinkedIn courses and try to do them all at the same time and then beat yourself up when you can't do it. People all the time, like today, I've gotten 2 DMs today. People are like, all right, why is my reach down? I'm engaging with all these people. I'm saying some words on all these posts. I feel like I wrote a hook that was like part of the content matrix and no one's buying my services. And I'm like, yo, we got to remember that you're not here to like put a coin in the LinkedIn bucket. You're here to like, grow a business, meet some people and be social. Be like, I posted 5 times last week. I'm going to post 5 times per week. I'm going to post 5 times a day for the next 2 years because Schmuston Felsch said I should do it. I'm like, okay, great. Who have you met with one-on-one and just like help them out? Whether it's in DMs or in a call or in a workshop or what it is, it's just like, sometimes you got to ditch the system. I think if you're too like rigid on the system, like you go in and diet, you eat 1 slice of pizza, and then you decide, well, now you're just going to eat only pizza. It's pretty much what happens with LinkedIn. You get sold the dream. I'm not saying someone who sells a course is selling a dream, but a lot of people out there on LinkedIn just selling a dream. If you only do these things, you write these hooks, you write these posts, you join my community, it's only this much per month, you will make it big. You'll have your whatever, your glory, your $100 per hour. I had somebody AI DM me, which is the funniest thing. AI DMs. I don't know if you've had any of that happen yet, but I'm still conversing with him. His bot. It's very funny. And he was like, I'm making 5 figures a day here on LinkedIn. I just responded, no, you're not. And of course, his AI is the one that responds. And I was like, oh, this is fun. So I was like, what's the capital of Indonesia? And I just go down a ridiculous rabbit hole. Anyway, it's case in point, right?
I love it.
Someone told him, set this AI DM bot on your network and you'll make a bunch of money. Obviously, he's going to realize it doesn't work. He's going to burn out like everyone burns out. So let it go. Just freaking let it go. That's my advice.
Okay, perfect. Let it go. Just show
Like
up
frozen.
and be there. All right, Ken, you're next. What do you have a tip for us on how to survive, how to thrive on the LinkedIn long game?
Sure. Yeah. First of all, shout out to whoever just said enshittification, because Cory Doctorow is the GOAT when he wrote that. I remember reading that article on Medium when he published it. It was so amazing. I was like, this perfectly encapsulates what I feel in my heart.
Dr. Jim needs to connect with Ken like now.
I read that too. Yeah.
He's the man.
Yeah.
Afterwards. I think the first thing that comes to mind is if your identity is attached to things like your KPIs on LinkedIn, you will perpetually be dissatisfied. And so that's, to me, burnout is just you're doing a bunch of stuff that is not aligned with who you want to be or you are day to day. Like, to me, that's when I feel the most burnout. And so the way, like the tactical way that I get by that is I'll schedule a block of time to do commenting. And I will also schedule a block of time to stop doing stuff, to allow myself that space to have other forms of like who I actually am. So my identity, so that if I have a good day on LinkedIn, it doesn't change that, Jesus, I also did jujitsu and wrestled and ran and lifted. And so there's all these different things, running with my dog in the woods. So anyway, to all you folks out there, if you're on LinkedIn, just sort of anxiously logging in and doing activities, if you time block time to do those and time to stop, you'll likely be more productive and effective without the burnout. And then the second thing is, I slightly disagree with Alex. I do think, though, you should develop a system, but only so that you know the parameters to play within. So I do write, 1-2 hour block a week, and then I log off. So good. Systems change lives, but only if you develop the right system for yourself.
That was organic. You didn't take someone's system,
sure.
think I'm going to make $1 billion next year from my LinkedIn posts, and then get mad at yourself when you didn't.
No, exactly. I was like, how do I want to live a dope life, but also get, inbound leads from LinkedIn? And I built that cool system for myself on Fridays at my favorite coffee shop.
Beautiful. Perfect. I love it. thank you for sharing that. All right, Jesus, you're up. Give us a tip.
I think for LinkedIn burnout, it's probably taking a step back and asking, why are you doing it? Why are you posting on LinkedIn? Why are you making time for it? Regardless if you spend 1 or 2 hours on LinkedIn or less, but why are you doing it? Because those who are posting very consistently for a long period, meaning more than 1 year, the people that don't want to do it for a year, they probably treat it like SEO or treat it more like PPC, where they want to see like an ROI on investment.
Yeah.
Kind of to Alex and Kim's point. They want to see results ASAP, which is very selfishly motivated. But seeing it more like a personal blog,
Mm-hmm.
and more seeing it like, hey, I'm sharing my personal experiences that I'm learning. Could be in meetings. I jot down notes from meetings, and then I elaborate on it later. But I do agree, is figuring out the why. Why are you posting on it? For me specifically, I see revenue. When I started putting on our website a form field, how did you hear about us? And I kept seeing LinkedIn. I doubled down on that because it was a strong signal. That's why I show up almost every day, every week on LinkedIn. And that's why I post, because it matters to our revenue.
Well,
so
then,
figuring out why you're doing it is big.
Love it.
Love that.
Okay.
Simon Sinek, let's go.
I do. So let me just share my quick little 2 bits, because I've been here for a long time too, and darn near burnout. But what I'm trying to do is that sellers are pariahs on LinkedIn. All right, and whether you want to admit that or not, it's fundamentally true. And so my mission is to sort of reimagine what it's like to be a seller in a social environment, and just to embrace that and to get into that and do the opposite of what every other seller I see doing. Right. So that means that if we're gonna talk about sales, okay, or talk about whatever product, what I'm selling, that's in a different context. Right here, what I want is to come off as authentic and approachable and accessible, and somebody who is trying to have a good time and not afraid to get out here and do something other than sell all the time. And so with that, that gives me energy, and it makes me feel creative, and it gives me it fills my cup, as it were, so that I can get out there and do the work of being a seller in my industry. So with that, thank you, gentlemen. Appreciate the tips for the night. And we have 8 minutes left to get through our second round of Hotness Unleashers. All right, so Elijah, fire us up.
Is that how you say it? Tirana? That's where Steve's from. He's hiring, by the way. He's dealt with brands, FreshBooks owner, Signaturely, BrainStation, Purple Felix, and more. He's an SEO consultant. He doesn't have scripted AI, and he has a lot of wisdom with the SEO. Okay? So he's one to follow, and he's Canadian. That's near and dear to my heart. So give him a little follow. 20,000 subscribers on SEOnotebook.com. Maybe you'll learn something from his weekly emails. Maybe? I don't know. What else you got about him? Ken, is there anything? He's hiring.
He is hiring. And, I will say, I will not hold the fact that, he's from Canada against him. But if Kevin is the professor, Steve is like the hacker archetype. Like, he's the guy you would have seen on Black Hat World, if you know, back in the day when anything was possible. And he's like, hey, if you put this keyword in the div 100 times, like, some good stuff will happen. And so, like, that energy, I've, been a subscriber of SEO Notebook for a long time, of tweaking and tinkering and building these interesting new solutions from like a tactical perspective. That's where Steve shines. And, he'd be the general leading everyone out into battle. And that's exactly how I see myself versus, sitting up in an ivory tower, giving what might work in theory. Steve's on the ground every day, actually doing it and proving what works and what doesn't. So shout out to that guy for being a beast with his newsletter. Everything he puts out is tactical gold. So yeah.
Nice. Nice. Love it. Thank you for bringing him in here. I will also check him out. Love it too. I'm really interested in the cybersecurity space as well. So I appreciate you that you mentioned that. And so Steve, welcome to the Hotness Unleasher community. Ken, thank you for bringing him in here. And I have not asked, what is Magma? What's that all about? Where'd that come from?
I'll try to do the quick version. So me and Alex were out to lunch at brunch, which is what you do in Portland on Saturdays and Sundays. Yeah. And we were having some kind of conversation, and I was like, hey, Alex, if you could be any type of whatever in the universe, what would you be? And very poetically, Alex was like, you're sort of like the magma of a volcano. Like, it's beautiful to look at from afar, but if you get too close, you might get burned or something like that, which is the fact that, I'm a nice guy until I'm not, basically. Okay. So, it stuck, and I added it to my LinkedIn profile. It's not a real nickname, but I like to think that it is.
Okay, perfect. Thank you for explaining it. Now, for me too, Magma.
Sounds real. So, take it.
Well, just I give it to you. Why not? Take it, right?
I willed it into existence.
There you go. Right. I mean, I put a rooster emoji on the end of my name, so that's where I'm coming from. All right. And I want to say, Kenny Dunner, welcome to the show tonight, man. I don't know about this comment though. I mean, you're not giving us your all, buddy. I'm feeling a little bit weak in the whole comment section.
Maybe you had a nap. I don't know.
Maybe he might have had a nap. All right.
Like, I'm here, guys. I got you.
He's here. All right, but know that we're savoring the awesomeness of Kenny Dunner.
Been marinating the flavor.
I know. I need to see the flavor. All right. So if you guys don't know Kenny Dunner, know that Kenny Dunner owns the comment. Like he'll leave a comment like that you never forget. All right. Yep. So there you go. And Margaret Martinez too. Welcome to the show. Thank you for leaving me a comment. All right. Vital though. I can't remember what that's referring to, but in any case, she left it. So thank you. All right.
Lovely.
Next up, Elijah, we're running out of time.
I bet Kim likes to take selfies of himself looking out into the horizon because it makes him look more LinkedIn-y. That's nice. He's the head of client advisory. He's an entrepreneur. He's a growth partner. He's into a bit of health and fitness. And when Jesus said, you gotta come to the table, the hotness with Rob and Kim, we said, no problem. He's passionate about connecting with people, driving results. He spent a career building strong client relationships, obviously because he's contemplating. He probably loves yoga too. I do as well, but I fall over all the time. Financial management to legal marketing to telecommunications and franchising. Hit up Robin if you need a little love in your franchising sector. Okay, so what else do you got about Robin for us?
Man, that's a really good intro. So Robin is a recent client of ours. So they came to us. They run a B2B accounting and bookkeeping firm for B2B companies, obviously. And what he brought up, wow, what a comment. What he brought out came to us for is like, hey, we need a redesign. We have a current website partner not doing the job, not reliable, not responsive, quality of work really sucks, to put it in that way. And when they came to us, we just finished the mock-ups for them. And his comments were like, man, you guys really brought our vision to life. It's something we've been really wanting to do. And he's great because we've also stayed in contact with on text message too. Like we'll share a picture of our kids, different milestones. And he was just telling me, we talk on the phone too. Sometimes it feels like we just talk about fitness majority of the time. Yeah. But because he's really into that. He did a lot of bodybuilding in his early age. So we just talked about everything, strength and conditioning. But it just feels like I have a real conversation with him, and we're talking about the different changes that we can do for his website, the mock-ups, bringing on his other partner to discuss the changes to. He's like, I've never had anyone actually walk us through it, create how-to videos, personalize it, make time for us whenever we're ready with our feedback. So he's been a great relationship and a great client, specifically around even just responsiveness to communication has been big for him. And we keep in touch, literally, even with our families. He's been texting me, how's your ankle recovery going? Because I had the ankle surgery. Yeah. So he's just been great overall, man.
Love it. All right, man. Thank you for bringing him in. Robin, you are welcome to Hotness Unleasher community. Jesus, much love to you for identifying him and bringing him in, and responsive clients for the win. I love that. I love that so much. Just where you can really connect, and it just makes such a huge difference. All right, so Elijah, we ready for our last Hotness Unleasher of the night?
Save the best or awesomeness for last. And redefining success. Redefining success. He has ex-Google on his tagline, but we're going to forgive him anyway. The beard, no hair, it's a good look. It means quiet rebellion, I'm pretty sure. But when Alex says something about Nicholas, you got to listen up. He loves how his business helps consultants and coaches grow through conscious leadership. He came to us to organize his engagement feed and aware. It stayed because our customer support is so hot. Alex, I love this introduction. What else do you got about Nicholas today?
Well, I just talked to the Changing Work Collective recently, and they were badass. It's just several hundred coaches and consultants doing business the right way. Nicholas is just an absolute sweetheart, and the no top hair, big beard combination really working. The quiet rebellion, I'd say it's medium volume rebellion, actually, in the best kind of way. So, yeah, shout out to Nick, and appreciate being part of the Changing Work Collective. Let's change some work. Needs changing, doesn't it?
Awesome.
Facts.
Yeah,
Big
Facts. All right.
facts.
All right. So, Nick, welcome to the Hotness Unleasher community. Alex, thank you for bringing him in here. Sorry, Nick, that you got sort of squanched here at the end because we are out of time. And one of the commitments that I try to hold to with this community and with my guests who are in the show is that we end as close to on time as possible. So we are there. I don't want to get you guys. It's
so tingly.
It's
so
tingly. It's hotness.
Yeah.
Hotness.
Tingly.
Sure. Yeah. No, man. This is important. All right. So we're going to shut it down right now. I want to say thank you so much for coming out. We've got a show in a week from today with, we do. Yeah. On the 19th. Yeah. Lauren Brownstone is going to be leading that. Yes, we are good. AP is going to be there with us, and Jesse Lazak is going to be with us. So,
Right.
Yeah, it's going to be a great show. We're going to have super fun, and we're going to try to keep it under an hour, but it's 6:02 p.m. Pacific time, so we are done. I want to say thank you so much for everybody for coming out tonight. Melanie Richards, I don't want to miss you too. I did see you here in the comments, and Kenneth Dunner, thank you for leaving your full in comment. That was all good, and Lauren Brownstone, look at you just showing up there on the YouTubes. All right, gang, have a great night. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Stay safe and go make some friends. And we are done. Okay. Good night, everybody.
Need some
Bye.
friends.
Yeah. Bye. Make more friends. Okay. Bye. The more cringe, the better. All right. Let's connect together and
we feel all right.
All right. I'm so excited.
Tingly.
I'm
all over.
I'm tingly.
Tingly.
I'm tingly. It's Hotness Unleasher.